ChatGTP might be one example. Is there maybe another example, the concrete example in your life where AI has somehow surprised you and shocked you?
Oh, well, yes. So it was around 2017 or 2018 in Google Research, and I was working with a small group, and we were trying to design really the first neural networks that could search for information in a very generalized sense, what they call zero-shot neural networks today. They don't need to be retrained as you move them from one domain to another domain. And we had good success with that. We could see that the model was working very well. Even if there was no keyword match, it could really match on the concept. So it was exciting to see all of that. But then my colleague, Noah Constant, who's still actually in Google Research, he had the idea that if we trained the neural network a little differently, we could get it to work across languages. Okay, and I hadn't thought of that idea myself, but what he was saying was making sense. And frankly, the idea was very exciting because that's not something that had ever been shown or demonstrated before. So we wired it up and we hit train. And it trained for a few days. And I remember, so Noah is a linguist by profession. So he speaks like 4 or 5 different languages, and he's fluent in Mandarin Chinese. So the model finished training, and he called me over to his desk, and we basically sat down and opened it up for the first time. And we had this corpus of material in English indexed, and he starts typing a question in Chinese. And as soon as he entered, and the system returned its results all in English, that was a moment that blew my mind. Because it's one thing, in theory, we understood that this would probably work, but it was still hard to believe that it could actually work. Like, you can search across languages. So that was a moment that my mind is blown. And now, although I don't know if how widespread the knowledge is, but for the last few years, information retrieval systems based on neural networks are now, they don't just work across 2 or 3 languages. They can work across dozens or even hundreds in some case with the recent models. So anyway, that's a concrete example.